Okay. That looks terrible. So today, there's been an offer for a very low-cost cell phone plan from a company called TextNow. Everybody may be familiar with the app if we go into the App Store. One moment, please. So we're in the App Store now. We've typed in TextNow into the search bar. And this is what it looks like. Now they're offering a discounted cell phone service under the Sprint/Verizon network, which is generally located throughout the United States. So if you're like me and you're in Canada, that area is subjugated to roaming and is not a part of the normal coverage area for both calling and internet. So I, like probably many others who were confused by this before now, I'm doing this video today to elaborate a little bit on what the truth actually is regarding this company. So if we go into, let's update the app first of all, because it'll only take a minute. So what they're offering is rock bottom low prices on cell phone plans starting at $9.99 a month. To buy the SIM card is $10 on top of the $9.99 a month, so minimum price for anybody starting off with this company would be around $20 just to get started, and that would give the user a full month of calling and texting unlimited throughout the US as well as Canada. But from what I'm understanding, you have to be actually within the service coverage area that is located throughout the US, as I understand it now. So people that are living in Canada cannot have TextNow as their service provider at this time, which sucks because if you are like me and would benefit more from a just calling and texting plan because you have Wi-Fi at home and you don't really use your phone a whole lot when you're out and about, at least like the internet or whatever. You can just get Wi-Fi at the coffee shop or at the mall or something like that. Then this plan would actually be very feasible and affordable for most people in today's world. If we look at the facts here, just one moment, I'm going to pause this video. They'll describe to us what features TextNow has for the people that can actually get on the plan. You have to buy a phone, or you have to bring your own phone to get with TextNow. It has to be Sprint/Verizon/GSM unlocked. So if it's not GSM unlocked, then it has to be under the Sprint or the Verizon network. If we just click on one of these random phones here, it'll give us all the ops on it. It's not a very good phone. So one thing I found about TextNow is they're not very transparent. They don't have support. Like, I tried messaging support, speak to an agent. They're not available right now. And I tried to send them a question about, I live in Canada, can I get coverage? Like, can I purchase the plan and live in Canada? And they replied back something abstract. About something not even related to the topic, so their support is not very helpful, to say the least. So let's just say I have my own phone and it actually works with this company, which isn't the case, because how I know this and how I figured this out is I was going to go purchase the SIM card and start on the $9.99 plan, and it tells you to enter your IEMI/MEID/ESN number. Where you will find that in your phone is by dialing *#06# and then obviously like hitting the call button, and it'll bring up that number. But a very simple way I like to do it, and how most would probably do it, is go to settings. It's the little gear button at the top of your screen there. Scroll down to System at the very bottom, click About Phone, and click Status, My Phone Number, IEMI, etc. I really hope that this is not going to screw me over here, but there's my phone number right there. I did not wish to give that away, but that is actually my phone number, and that is actually my EMI number. So you type that in. I'll even do it just once just to show everybody. 355. See, I already did type it in, so I'll just re-enter it again here. That is my EMI number. Press continue, and it'll tell you if your phone is compatible on their network, and obviously mine isn't. It says, sorry, your phone isn't currently supported by TextNow, which is not good news. That's not good news for a guy like me, because it's going to say still interested in joining TextNow. Enjoy low-priced phones and plans starting from $9.99 a month. I have a Verizon unlocked Android, so I also typed in that EMI as well. It still isn't compatible, and why that is, I have no clue. I found this information very confusing. How did I get a Verizon unlocked smartphone? I bought mine off eBay. That's the Zenfone V that I have, the last phone that I was using there before I got my G6, which is actually this model here is the Galaxy Black version, which is solely for Canadians. But the other phone, which I figured might work on this network, is actually a Verizon phone, and it still didn't work. And it's not a Canadian phone. So I found that a little bit weird that it wouldn't. I really just found that awfully mysterious is the word I'm looking for here. Because why would they be on this, like, I don't want to give any of my personal opinions here in this video. I just want to simply state facts and let everybody know what's going on with TextNow, because when somebody offers a $10 a month phone plan with a $10 SIM card, which you only have to buy the SIM card once as long as you take care of it, you can have your phone number now, whichever phone you have, you can have that number quote unquote ported over. So essentially, basically, you're through a very techie process, we can have our phone number that we currently own, even if it's with a different company, like I'm on Public Mobile, for example, in Canada, I can have that number ported or transferred over once I start the TextNow plan. Like generally speaking, if I was able to actually buy the plan, and I can't stress this enough, I cannot, since I live in Canada, I cannot buy this plan. This plan is not available to Canadian residents at this time. So, but they don't make that clear, because what was confusing to me is they say right in the monthly plans and pricing, all plans include unlimited, look right above my head here, all plans include unlimited talk and text to USA and Canada. Now that information right there for an idiot like me is very misleading information. And it's no contract, so it's pay as you go. It's paid by the month. You can prepay. You can have it set up so that it takes it right off your PayPal or right off your bank card, which is very convenient for most people in today's day and age. And that's just the low end of it, you know. I'm going deeper into this here. They have 2 gigabytes of LTE, which is 4G data, for $19.99 a month. My plan currently is 1 gigabyte of 4G data a month, which I keep as insurance in case the Wi-Fi ever goes out and whenever I'm out and about. So 1 gigabyte of 4G data and unlimited calling and texting within Canada. That is my plan. And I can also text internationally to the US, which, like, that includes Canada and the US. But that's it. And that's you know, that's $5 less than what they're offering here. But they're also offering calling to the US and Canada for $5 less, plus an extra gigabyte of data in this first plan that we see here, which is crazy. It's a crazy upgrade. And then if we go even further, all the way to the bottom, we're looking at unlimited data, up to 23 gigabytes of 4G data, and then after you use 23 gigabytes of 4G data, it goes down to 2G data for the rest of the month. That's just the way it works. It's like some fair use policy that they've drawn up here. And that's still a really good deal. For $40 a month, I was paying $50 a month with Public Mobile, and I was only getting 8 gigabytes of data per month and unlimited calling to Canada and texting to Canada and unlimited calling and texting to the US as well. So TextNow has a really good plan here, in my opinion. If they would offer it to Canadian residents, and I understand that they're on this, the Sprint/Verizon network, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse by talking about this here, because it's just not a reality. For Canadians, it's just not a reality to have this plan right now. And it would probably cost more if Sprint/Verizon, whoever the hell these people are, expanded their network to include Canadians. Let's try and get that back. That is my TextNow number. It's listed in the description. I don't worry about giving that away. So the ad is actually right on the page here at the bottom. TextNow, get LTE data starting at $19.99 a month, which of course includes unlimited calling to Canada and the US. And according to them, you don't have to use internet to make your calls. You can make your calls through the regular dialer on the phone. So it's literally with the SIM card, connects right to the LTE network, as long as it's in the right place. Like, say I'm living in Florida or I'm living in New York, then my phone will likely work as long as I'm within the tower's range, so within city limits or above ground type thing. But when we're going places like basements, underground. The benefit that TextNow is saying compared to some other cell phone companies is that it will switch from voice to LTE data or Wi-Fi data, so it'll work where other cell carriers may not get service, like basements where Wi-Fi is available. For example, you'll be able to make calls on TextNow with the plan through Wi-Fi in those areas. And I'm not saying that will work everywhere, like if we're out in the middle of nowhere where there's absolutely no cell coverage, no Wi-Fi, and no LTE coverage in that particular location, then obviously nothing's going to work, no matter what plan anyone has. And I think we can all understand that. But basically, what this company is essentially doing here for United States residents, and hopefully Canadian residents here in the near future, is they're undercutting all of the budget companies that are already giving the best prices, and they're using their network. So how this company ever managed to get onto that? Probably some type of contract, I'd imagine, or they probably managed to swindle some type of deal. But I can sit here and speculate all day about these things, but again, I'm trying to stick to facts about this company here, and what makes it attractive is that they actually have a lot of cell phones. If you don't have your own cell phone already, they'll hook you up with one. Like if we just take a look here, we needn't go any further than the Motorola Moto E4 for $59.99, which is regularly $145. So you give them that money up front, they'll ship you a Motorola Moto E4, and if you have a promo code, like say a friend refers you, not only will that friend get $20 in credits from this company, but you'll get $20 in credits just for using that code as well while you're making your purchase. So this phone has actually been chopped down 45% in price. It's now $50 with 2 days shipping, and it's free shipping. It's not the best phone ever, like I said, but when it's coming with a plan of such a nature, it's going to be a remarkable thing for anybody that is able to afford it. It's the lowest cost to get started up on a cell phone plan and stay connected in today's day and age that I've ever seen. And as many of you know, although I'm no cell phone expert, I'm definitely a cell phone connoisseur. After the episode of my phone falling in the toilet one day, I was getting up from the toilet and I had my sweatpants on, my gym pants. I had my phone in my right pocket. And somehow as I was pulling up my pants, my phone must have been just sitting at a really weird angle, and it fell. I heard it plunk right in the toilet. And that was the only phone I had at the time. So I call up my sponsor at that time, who I won't name on this video, and I said, would you mind helping me out here? I need a cell phone. And he goes, no. And I was like, I was just taken aback by that, because in my world, with my circle of people, we all understand, we are all supposed to understand how important it is to have something that would connect us to each other, and what we normally use to talk is the phone. So I was very shocked when this man told me no, and on top of that, having a full-time career, like a full paying job with benefits, and still is not able to help a struggling person like myself who genuinely made a mistake and just dropped my cell phone in the toilet. So I did ask somebody else who was able to actually fund me a $500 phone right from the store, brand new, which I still use to this day. It's not the best phone in the world, but at that time it was the only phone I had, and I've managed to, since that debacle, produce 3 more cell phones that I've managed to buy on my own money. So I still have all those phones today, and they're all working and fully functional at this time. And I think it's good to kind of diversify your investments. That's my personal belief. Not just have all your eggs in one basket. So I think the more phones, the merrier, personally. And I'm always connected. As long as I have a phone, I'm always connected. As long as I have a phone, I never really worry about too much, because I know I can always just call someone and talk right there on the spot. I understand that not everybody sees the value in that, and I used to be one of those people that didn't really like talking on the phone, but I didn't have anybody valuable to talk to, so now that I do, I couldn't imagine life without one. Maybe somewhere down the road, possibly, but even still, for your convenience and necessity, I think it's totally acceptable to keep a cell phone and have a plan on that cell phone, but also be mindful and keep that cost of the plan as low as possible, which is why I got such a spike in my adrenaline when I saw this $9.99 plan where I could just call and text through Canada and the US for $10 a month, which would have been really good. And I feel like I'm groveling here over it, but when they make it such, they make it very misleading. But I'll show you more information about their coverage zone. They actually do show that, which might make it a little more clear to people watching the video. You needn't go any further than this video if you're wondering if TextNow, the app, the free service, does work in Canada. It works on Wi-Fi. You get your own phone number. You can call out. You can text out. But that's it. It's just on internet. There's no actual service. There's no... Once the internet goes out, that's it. That's what I'm saying here. But what we're trying to do is get onto this plan where we don't necessarily always need internet to be making phone calls and texts, and to be receiving phone calls and texts. So I looked at the coverage map, which it does cover pretty much everywhere in the United States. And I just want to pull it up one more time here. If I can find it. Let's try browse articles. No, that's not. I forget where it is. I know that they do have it. I was just looking at it. Where do I get coverage? There we go, frequently asked questions. And then it says here you can view the coverage map. Let's read this one time. With TextNow, you have coverage through Wi-Fi and nationwide data networks. To see if TextNow is a good fit, you can view our coverage here for nationwide CDMA and GSM coverage map. Our service is better than traditional coverage as it includes any location you have Wi-Fi, where traditional phone service may be unavailable. So we already talked about that. View our coverage map here. It'll give us the whole picture momentarily. All you have to do is type in your address, which I'm not going to do. That's one thing I'm not yet willing to give out, is my address. If we look at the legend, data coverage, no coverage, 5G, 4G, non-LTE, which is 3G and 2G. There's no such thing as 1G, for those that are wondering. It's just 2G to 5G. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5 currently. 2G is actually 2.4G if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not going to get into it here in this video. Use 2 fingers to move the map. So that's where it's covering. Unfortunately, all of Canada is subjugated to roaming. That's the problem with that. Type in a post office here. So it'll say roaming coverage is located as beige. International roaming is considered purple. And as we can all see there, very clearly, clear as day, Charlottetown is international roaming, which means that this service is not available in Canada. If we look at the rest of Canada, it's very difficult to move this map, if I do say so myself. This is all Canada. This is all the Maritimes right here. So we move over to the left and go southern. We will see that the map is no longer international roaming in a lot of areas. So we have this state line there, right around Montreal, which goes into Boston. That would be probably where Sprint Direct Connect is available, where data coverage exists. So we were trying to depict where these zones are, but as I've stated previous to this, it basically goes across into Canada, into anywhere in Canada, and we're internationally roaming. But if we're in the States, we're mostly getting 4G coverage. Yellow is 4G coverage, which is good internet and phone service. And I don't know how to better properly explain this. So, yeah, if you're in the States, you're in luck. You're gonna pay $10 a month. If you don't want to tack on 2 gigabytes of internet, you're going to pay $9.99 a month. And I'm not paid to do this video. I'm not being promoted or paid or anything. I'm just doing this video simply out of pure interest, because I find this type of stuff very interesting. How somebody could get phone service for $10 a month, and if you need internet, you can start off at $19.99 a month for 2 gigabytes, add on to it. And if you want to go the whole yard, you can just pay $40 a month plus tax and plus the SIM card one time, and you're going to have unlimited data, unlimited Canada-wide and US texting and calling, as long as you're within the US. I don't think that TextNow offers roaming, meaning that if you live in the States and you start your TextNow plan and travel to Canada, you now enter a roaming zone. And I'm not sure that they cover that. I'm not sure that they cover roaming with these plans. They seem to be pretty adamant on letting you know what your internet privileges are. However, they don't seem too transparent when it comes to letting us know what our phone coverage covers, what our phone plan covers. So let's go to support, and the live agent's not available, so let's type in another question. Roaming. Let's see what it brings up. So there's nothing on roaming. With TextNow, you have coverage through Wi-Fi and nationwide data networks. Nationwide in this context, all it means is throughout the US. So as long as you're in the US, you should have coverage in most places. As soon as you step across over into Canada, that's it. Done deal. Gonna have to figure out, because if you're a traveler, I am not at this time, but if you are a traveler and you plan on traveling while under this phone plan and they don't have any way to engage in a roaming surcharge, or have a roaming, like a way to basically travel to other parts of the world, not just Canada, Europe, Australia, China, people are going to want to use their cell phone, even if it's just for emergencies, typically. So it would be my understanding that most people wouldn't want this phone plan if it doesn't allow the user to get some sort of roaming service when they're traveling. It's great to have coverage, but if the person can't actually use the services where they're at, it doesn't matter if the coverage goes across the world if it's not working. That's just my take on it. What network does TextNow Mobile use? TextNow uses your Wi-Fi connection first. When it is available, even for texts and calls, and there is no Wi-Fi connection, TextNow will use Sprint's nationwide 2G voice, 3G, and 4G network for our CDMA phones and SIM cards. I don't know what CDMA means. Just give me one moment and I'll look that up for everybody. Division Multiple Access, CDMA, is a channel access method used by various radio communication technologies. CDMA is an example of multiple access where several transmitters can send information. So essentially, that's just a cell phone network. most cell phone services like Verizon or TELUS or something like that operate on the CDMA network. So that's all that means. It's just a way to connect to the actual phone provider. The more well established the phone provider, the more coverage area they have, in my experience. Is there a contract? We already know the answer to that. Do I need to get the monthly plan? Can I just buy the device? That's a great question. All devices require the monthly plan for it to work. We do not sell phones without a monthly plan attached. So that answers that question. If you're looking to just purchase one of their phones because you like what the features are on it, you have to include the plan as well. So you're going to be charged at least a SIM card plus a month of service on top of what the phone costs just to get that phone. So it may not be the best option to go that route. But then again, sometimes they do have really great deals on cell phones where buying, like if you're actually able to buy the plan, buy the SIM card and the phone, it may still be cheaper than buying the same phone brand new from somewhere else. So it's always good to shop around. I prefer to shop on eBay personally for my phones, but not everybody is the same as me. Most of my phones I get probably around 60 to 70% off because I shop on eBay and I take my time. When it comes down to it, this G6 normally would have a manufacturer retail sale price of around $500 to $600, and I got it for $130 used, but it's actually a really good phone. The Zenfone V that I got was for like $100, and that phone has an average retail price of around $350 to $400, and it was brand new. So that is why I prefer to go with eBay, because you can get a better phone for a lower price pretty much all the time on eBay. I've heard some good things about Amazon as well. I don't go on Amazon, so I have no experience to share on Amazon, but I heard it's pretty much like the same thing as eBay, but I'm not going to encourage people to go there because I haven't gone there, and I wouldn't encourage somebody to do something that I've never done before. So I wouldn't encourage some people to do some things that I've done before. So how's that for a little bit of insight? And the last question, does my data get used when I'm on Wi-Fi? Some people may want to know that. When you're on Wi-Fi, data does not get used at all. So what it does is as long as you keep your LTE connection on, your Wi-Fi, as long as it's on, will override the cell phone data. However, I believe there's a setting that needs to be turned on in developer options in order for that to work. Networking. Cellular data always active. Keep mobile data active even when Wi-Fi is active for fast network switching. So as long as that is turned on, you can have both Wi-Fi and your data plan turned on at the same time, and as long as the Wi-Fi is active, no data will be used. However, the problem I've faced in the past, and many others is that when the Wi-Fi shuts off randomly and nobody realizes it, it can eat up the data quickly. So obviously we'll want to be aware of whether the Wi-Fi is on or not. And for a guy like me, I just don't trust Wi-Fi to be on all the time. So that's why I don't need fast network switching. So I just keep my data turned off, and my Wi-Fi is on like 99.99999% of the time anyway, so I'm not losing much when it's not on. So there's not really anything more I have to say about that. Just make sure that that setting is on. If you want to learn how to turn on developer options, go to About Phone, go to Software Info, and click build number 7 times. It says no need, you are already a developer, but if you are not a developer, you will not have developer options unlocked, and you'll need to do this. So make sure you do it the way I just did it, because that's the only way to do it in most phones, is go to About Phone, go to Software Info, and click build number 7 times with your finger. On the 7th try, it'll say, "Congratulations, you've unlocked developer options," and then this button will pop up, Developer Options. Go down to Networking and make sure cellular data is always active. But you actually have to have your cellular data turned on. Under my belief, it has to be on, or this setting will be rendered useless no matter what. So both have to be turned on in order for this setting to work. But this setting can be turned on and the data actually turned off, and this will not affect the data at all. The data will not be used as long as it is turned off, even if this setting is on, is basically what I'm trying to explain here. I think I've done a pretty good job explaining that. So that takes care of all that. So all in all, to sum everything up here, for those that are still watching the video, for those that are still listening, TextNow is a great free app. I've benefited from it numerous times, calling into radio shows, like blog talk radio shows, for free. International calling. This will call any phone with a phone number, with the dialer option in the top right hand corner of the screen here. It'll have the contact, it'll upload the contacts automatically that are already in the phone, which is great. Texting can be done too, just pressing the little pencil at the bottom right hand corner here and then fire off text, but I'm not here to do a tutorial on how to use TextNow. Simply stating that it is available to certain people in the world to get this plan, and it is an amazing plan. It doesn't get any better than this. It's a sad day for all Canadians after watching this video, yes. If you're anything like me, you're licking your wounds and sorting out your mess right now. But I'm not going to move to the States over this. I'm only losing out on $15 a month, and that's not really worth moving to the United States over, in my opinion. However, for the ones that it does work for, it's a day to rejoice if you have not yet found out about this. I've found nothing but really positive reviews for the ones that actually have purchased the service through watching YouTube videos about the service being available and reading the comment section of people that have actually tested it out. The paid version is what I'm talking about, not the free app. The paid version. It's reliable. The support obviously support is not very reliable on this. But then again, I'm with Public Mobile and support on that is pretty much trash and I never need it, so that's not really an argument that I would use in going against this company if I was to consider switching providers or gaining my first cell phone plan or just buying a cell phone plan. Support is not something I'm very concerned about paying $10 a month. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here for now. My name is Dr. Andrew, spiritual physician. If you're new to the channel, subscribe now. Leave a like or a dislike, a comment in the comment section, and share this video around with everybody that you may think could benefit from it. And I'll be back a little later with another seemingly random topic to talk about. Later.